we're gonna put you together over here with Aubrey Anderson. He's the CTO at the New Computer Corporation.
Thank you, man.
What are you guys gonna talk about?
Congratulations.
Talk about Inky.
I think it may have gone on. All right. Well, so you guys are going to talk about onboarding the next 10 million users. Sounds like NCC have made a pretty cool advancement in wallet tech. Did you get your mic back on?
Yep.
Yeah, all right,
so
we're good.
Yeah. They have. No, is it on? Yeah, it's on. So yeah, the guys at NCC have done a really great job in making this stuff usable. And so Aubrey and I, we were collaborating on various things, and I just wanted to come up on stage and talk with him about his product and demonstrate, I guess, the pushes they're making to try and make it easier to bring people into this space. Because not everyone is going to be comfortable running nodes, not everyone's comfortable even using things like Wallet. So we need to make this stuff invisible. If you're using this thing to get into a gig or to get into a show, you want the technology to get out of the way. And so Aubrey's company is really focused on that.
Yeah, and Aubrey's been here within the Algrand ecosystem for well over a year now. I really want to welcome you to the stage, Aubrey. Yeah, great. Yeah, a couple of years. So, Chief Technology Officer Aubrey Anderson from the New Computer Corporation, going to speak with our CTO here at the Algrand Foundation, Mr. John Woods. A little fireside chat, guys. Have a seat. Welcome to the Algorand Tech Talks stage.
Thank you. Thanks for all the clapping.
Check, check. Hello. How's it going? I'm going to do something weird today, which is show UI.
You doing a UI demo live?
Yeah, there's like a demo with some UI, just to kind of break it up a little bit. My name is Aubrey. I'm a co-founder and CTO at a company called the New Computer Corporation. We build kind of low-level tooling for consumer applications. The goal for us is to make all things Web3, Web2 easy. A year ago, I would sit up here and talk about how we want to really go after the Web2 people, and everyone would just sort of stare blankly at me, like, what about NFT prices? And I'd be like, well, no, I think it's the Web2 people are really where it's at, big time scale. But so we've been hard at work all along. We don't do DeFi, we don't do speculation. It's just a pure play technology company.
And I think, like the name of this talk was onboarding the next 10 million users, right? And I think what I like about Aubrey's company is that they're taking Algorand tech because they recognize, again, it's fit for purpose, and it's able to give people a good experience, again, because let's say at the recent event that you guys did, which maybe you could talk about, folks are having a good experience in using the tech there because it's so fast, because it's reliable. But the best bit is most of them didn't know they were using it.
Yes. Yeah, the goal, especially, we do some work where people are at festivals, or they're at events, or they're at conferences, and we want to add value with something, with the decentralized workflow. At music festivals, they're drunk, and it has to be really easy. The evolution of this wallet system that we have, oh, my computer went to sleep. Isn't that always the case? We built the wallet called Inky as a result of trying to do it every other way. We tried an embedded system. We tried using Wallet Connect to bounce over to Wallet and bring people back. And what we found is particularly at events and with the completely uninitiated, it was just full stop. We found that nobody will install anything, particularly on site. And if it isn't familiar and easy, as soon as they see something that feels scary, they stop.
And I think this is it. Like, you can't expect people who are rocking up to a gig where you've got your new POAP token, or you've got a deal with the people who are running the event to allow people to buy services or goods at the event. You can't expect these people to download some app they've never seen before in the middle of the desert, memorize words, test them, can they remember their 24th word?
It's never going to happen.
It's just not going to happen. So I think the coolest thing about this, and what your technology at NCC enables us to do, is go out to existing regular people that are using normal computers to do normal stuff, who already have an iPhone app. Whether it's a football club, whether it's a baseball team, basketball team, whatever. These guys, they already have their apps. They already have them built. They've had them for the last decade, okay? So it's like, how can we seamlessly be part of that rather than trying to get people to jump into a totally new application. And so that, I think, is how we get the next 10 million users. It's going to them and being part of their existing ecosystem, not trying to force them to do something different, right?
Yeah, I think it's critical to be able to embed decentralized workflows with current audiences, and particularly already scaled and enthusiastic audiences, rather than having to introduce multiple workflows all at the same time. The drop-off is enormous. All right, you want to see some pixels?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Are you going to demo Inky?
I'm just going to show you how it works. I made lots of pixels just because, you know, it's the end of the day. So this is a great example of the Inky wallet. We just did an activation at 3 Points, which is a music festival in Miami. We were able to embed ourselves in their current mobile app. I'm going to go back a little bit. So they currently have a mobile app that's already distributed to hundreds of thousands of fans in their ecosystem. About 30,000 of those people showed up at the festival. We embedded ourselves in an iframe inside their current mobile app, so there's nothing to install. The thing that showed you the schedule also allowed you to transact. Now the process looks like this. You go to the section, it was really just a tab in their application. That loads up our workflow. What you see, the Mango is part of a dApp that we built, and everything with an octopus is an interaction with the embedded wallet. The wallet embeds itself, in this case, in an iframe. The iframe is memory protected from the dApp that surrounds it, but it all just feels like regular old Web 2.0. I create an account. I get a little bit of advice about not losing my password. I pick a inspiring username. I chose 3 Pints. You choose a reasonably secure password. I'll give you some inline advice about that as well. And then you start the create flow. What's happening behind the scenes here is I'm creating a wallet for this person. I am pre-funding that wallet with a little bit of algo so that they can actually transact. And then I'm dropping them into a workflow that already feels familiar, which is just making sure they're not a robot. And then we can start having brand communication with the person and just take the kind of technology and scariness out of it. I mean, what's less scary than a roller skating lizard? So we have one more step in this process after the wallet is created and funded. They have to approve a transaction to bring themselves, in this case it's a token, it's a Algorand ASA, which allows them access to do all kinds of things at the festival. Boom, we're done. The whole workflow clocks, if you do it quickly, about 7-8 seconds, because we're wrapped up into 2 transactions. And the transactions, as was just discussed, we close out each transaction under 4 seconds. So if you kind of move through in a timely way, it's fast enough that people came to the festival, saw that there was an express line that had no people in it, were able to sign up for this and get the token, which allowed them to go into the line and go into the festival. At the festival, they just used this symbol as a resource. That was, because it's an interactive bit, this is just a little WebGL render thing that's touchable. If a non-crypto native bartender could see that you had the token because you would just tap the thing and it would move around. It's not a video, it's not a screen grab of someone else's. It was secure enough for their purposes.
Aubrey, you were talking about the adoption and the conversion rate and that kind of thing. We discussed it a few days ago. Can you remind me about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's worth pointing out. So about 30,000 people came to this 3 Points Festival. They're back to kind of a normal attendance after the sort of COVID downtime. And we watched the metrics very, very closely. Our hope was kind of on the high end to convert a couple thousand people and open a couple thousand wallets. What we found is we actually opened 4,500 wallets, which is about 15% of all the attendees. We had very, very high engagement. Click through the link It was about like 8,000 or 9,000 people clicked through. About half of those, 50% conversion, ended up actually going all the way and creating a wallet.
It's very impressive, and I honestly do think that if you used a more traditional route, where you built your own iPhone app, rather than dropping Inky in, so Inky is this module that you can drop in a frame in any web context, right? And actually done so, surprising to my surprise, in a way that protects the keys, so that the key material is not at risk. There's no way you'd have a 15% uptake.
No, the last activation we tried, we had about 2%, about 1.3% conversion. And I mean, so this is just a massive, massive change. For them.
Yeah, and you know, the thing about it is that you can build as great a protocol as you like, and you can have the best developer tools. But at the end of the day, we need normal people and regular people to be able to use this stuff, and do so in a way that doesn't require them to go outside of their daily flow.
Yep.
And I think that things like Inky are really paving the way for that.
The other thing I think we should point out, just about like a learning, a takeaway that we found, we sort of figured that emails about the activation went out a week before the festival. We kind of thought we'd see desktop people, but we didn't. We saw 99% mobile before the festival, during the festival, on day one, and day two, it was like effectively all mobile. And it occurred to me that I think there's this massive underserved or unaddressed audience who expect to begin work and end a workflow completely on their phone, and they think it's super bizarre if part of the workflow involves the laptop, which they don't have. That's always been my suspicion, but it's nice to have hard numbers to underlie, like there's real people that we don't know who aren't in this ecosystem, who aren't at this conference, they're all on their phones.
Yeah, it's amazing. Is there any other technologies then at NCC that you're working on that are like Inky pushing forward the kind of status quo?
Yeah, so this is a kind of a through line with all of the tech that we're building. We have what we call decentralized APIs, which are for developers who understand RESTful interfaces. They give you a RESTful interface into all kinds of smart contract workflows, tokenized workflows, and kind of micro applications that we're building the decentralized APIs in front of.
Yep.
The goal, again, is to allow embedded existing audiences to just move with one hop into experimenting with decentralized workflows without having to stop anyone at a wallet sign up, without having to ask existing users to like do another workflow. They can just, I'm in here, I'm about to stream this media, and you can just add calls to the APIs to move the media stream onto the blockchain.
Fantastic.
Hey. Oh, let me put up the URL here.
I think there's a question there from the gentleman in the back. Did you catch that one? Yeah, would you mind? He's going to bring you a mic. Sorry, it's just so hard to hear over here.
Basically, why not Web 2?
But just to clarify, your workflow with Inky did not include any mnemonic phrases, so there's no like custody of the wallet. So at that point, why not do it in Web 2?
So the workflow is actually very similar to what you'd see in like a MetaMask, where we ask the user to create a username and a password. We're actually encrypting your mnemonic with your password. And so it's not like a custodial wallet, and that authentication actually can follow you across other dApps anywhere that Inky is embedded. So if I started a workflow on the 3 Points mobile app, I can actually use that same authentication on some other dApp where Inky is embedded. So they are actually transacting, they are actually signing the transactions. We're just trying to make it as frictionless as possible, and make it familiar. Oh yes, absolutely. The wallet is your wallet. The mnemonic is your mnemonic. You can export, you can import an existing wallet from somewhere else if you have a mnemonic from another wallet system. I didn't want to bog us down with the sort of import-export logistics, but anywhere Inky is embedded, it's a fully functional transaction mechanism. What we don't do is things like trading like we don't do any on-ramp, off-ramp. It's just your kind of the ability to transact in your pocket wherever you happen to be working.
Good question, though. Like, I mean, I think you need to be true to the principles, and so it's not about creating another wall garden. You got to avoid that stuff. I really do think, and so I had the same questions before I got up here. But no, it is important to empower users to do what they want, but at the same time make it as easy as possible. But I think it's a good question.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, just like every blockchain has a strength and a perfect use case, I think every wallet has a strength and a perfect use case. And the goal with Inky is to solve a problem that we encounter all the time in actual implementation. And that sort of was our North Star in terms of the design of the wallet. Like, it has to be easy, it has to be embeddable, and it has to look familiar for people that don't do this all the time. And then I had a bunch of nerd requirements as well. Like, it really bothers me that people put wallets in browser extensions. Like, that sucks. Like, the memory model in a browser extension is very, very unsafe. I much prefer it in a sandbox, memory-safe area like we're doing with Inky.
What I like about it is when, like, at the foundation, it's all about encouraging adoption, ecosystem, enabling builders, basically trying to cultivate this whole thing, right? And so we regularly will have folks call us up from household brands that you've heard of and go, oh, we're kind of interested in doing something. Maybe it's ticketing, maybe it's purchases, maybe it's like loyalty stuff, fan club stuff, a whole bunch of things like that. And like, Para is a great wallet. I use it myself personally for holding like small amounts of algo on my phone, and I love it, and I think people should use it. But it's not the solution for something like this. Like, trying to build a solution around Para for integration at a football stadium or for a brand like Starbucks, whatever, it's just not a good experience. Those folks already have their iPhone app, right? They already have their customer base using this stuff. And so something like this, I think, is the sweet spot for enabling people to use Algorand, but in a way that they don't have to go and bother using Para or some other workflow.
And as users at a festival become more sophisticated and realize what a wallet is, what an address is, we do expect over time that they'll move into more sophisticated wallets like Para.
Sure.
They're compatible.
But this is the onboard we need.
Yeah, it's the critical thing for us is just to get people into the ecosystem as quickly as possible, as easily as possible.
Yeah.
And then it's up to us what we do with them from there.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I think we got time for another question right here.
Thank you. Audrey, how do you monetize this?
Inky is open source. This is not trying to be a revenue stream for us. We don't want, like, everything that all of us want to do requires lots and lots of users and lots of people in the ecosystem. If we're trying to block people at this stage and extract fees, I don't think that's a smart strategic move. So we're trying to keep our vision on the kind of 10-year arc. We all have lots of ways to make money once we have 100 million transacting users, and that's our real job. To me, the wallet is table stakes.
That's cool.
All right.
I didn't know that. It's a good answer, though.
All right, gentlemen. Do we have time for one more question, guys?
Yeah, it's good for me.
Yeah, okay. Let's see if I can find one more. Oh, we got it.
This is what I'm doing today.
If the user can use the same address in multiple applications, and how can you protect the users so someone can implement and malicious things, and private key is shared in this case, or not shared, but you handle it in the background, as far as I understand. How, if the user can't see the transactions and confirm it, how do you plan to prevent it?
Users can still use a block explorer and go and look at their transactions. They still have an address. There's kind of a utility screen in Inky that I didn't show today. That'll give you your address and link you through to a block explorer and let you do more kind of blockchain native workflows. We want that to be. We want to put that kind of workflow in the place where you're like, what is going on here? I'm getting kind of curious. Because at that point, great. Like now you are beginning to onboard into the actual underlying ecosystem, but we don't want to do it the other way around.
One last question there, I think, just behind you.
Right here.
Sorry, but what is the keys? Where do you store the keys of this wallet for these users?
When can you use it?
Where is the keys?
It lives at a URL. If you go to inky.ncc.la, there's documentation and code and a sample project and that kind of thing.
Now, I'm asking, so when someone at a conference used this application to create a wallet and they claim an NFT to use it for a fast lane as you showed in the demo, you created a wallet for them? Is that the assumption?
Yes, exactly. And you have to reverse the traditional thinking.
Yep.
We go from a decentralized app, which might live at a URL. The wallet is then embedded inside that application. So
Yep.
we can be embedded in a mobile application. We could be embedded at a dApp that lives at a URL. We're trying to do the opposite of what's been the norm lately, which is to download a wallet application that's very heavyweight and then try to synchronize that workflow with another application or the web. That's been very, very.
I get that. It's amazing. But
Yeah.
if the user wants to claim their wallet, to own this one, what is the keys for their wallet? The private key of the wallet, what does it live?
The private key is encrypted with the password they choose.
Okay.
It's AES encrypted, and we don't ever see it. We don't know what it is.
Could
so-
they know it?
What's that?
Could they know the private key for that wallet?
Absolutely, yeah. We will print it back to you whenever you want, as long as you enter the private key.
Okay, so it's like it's stored somewhere encrypted in your back system, and they have access to when they want with their password.
And the dApp has some options there about where they want to store it. I personally, like, once it's AES encrypted, you could print it into a block. You're not going to get that
Okay, yeah,
mnemonic without knowing the private key.
okay.
And I mean, provided they didn't use the password. But the users are going to still screw things up.
Yeah.
But
I understand.
I think we can provide baseline of security. It's as good as any other wallet that's out there in terms of how mnemonics are getting encrypted and how you decrypt them with a private key.
Cool, thank you so much, yeah.
Excellent questions all around.
Yeah, thank you. That was awesome.
Gentlemen, I want to thank you both for coming up and spending some time with us.
My pleasure.
John and Aubrey, thank you so much for joining us here. A round of applause for these couple of guys. Really cool tech that you've been building there.
Here.
Oh, we went to do this. There you go.